All right, aloha, friends. Happy Monday. Hopefully, you enjoyed your weekend. Brian Gossett here with Game Time with the Goss. Another episode, and today joined with Joe Gordon, head football coach with the Arlington Seguin Cougars. First off, thanks for jumping on, Coach. Hey, how long has football been a part of your life?
Oh, wow. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on today. Football has been a part of my DNA. I can remember playing football. The first thing that I recall doing was playing football in Little League growing up. And so I want to say I started in like third grade in contact. And before that, I was really into flag football as a young man. So football has been a part of my life. I mean, all the way through. I did take a break when I got to high school. So I played all through Little League. And then when I got to junior high, I played sixth grade, and I never played again until my senior year. So I didn't play my seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. That just wasn't in the card deck. Life was real. We had some things we had to deal with. And so I went to work. I actually had two jobs all through high school when I was part of the ROTC Corps. I wanted to go to the military, and I was going to be a fighter pilot. And so it wasn't until I went to Lackland Air Force Base and went and took our battalion unit down there because I was the leader. And I met with a colonel there, and he had challenged me not to leave high school, doing something I'll never get a chance to do again. And they were speaking to my athleticism while we were there. And so they told me I should give it a shot. So lo and behold, I go back and talk to the coaches my senior year and say, hey, I think I want to give it a twirl. And my mother signed off on it, allowed me to drop one of my jobs that I had to support the family. And I was able to play football. And that 1 year at Arlington High School back in the day, I earned a full ride scholarship, went to Kansas State. I have not looked back, and football has been a top priority. It's been the thing, the vehicle and the catalyst has helped change my life. So it's been very, very much a part of my DNA. And that's really why I do it today, because being a high school young man who didn't even see this future for himself, the coaches and other people did. And so because I was able to be under some good guys who saw some things in me I couldn't see, it allowed me to go down a path that today I'm living to the fullest, which is having that same opportunity to find those same type of young men and help them connect to their dreams.
Awesome. You seem like when you played, you seemed like maybe a Steve Smith type. Small guy but quick on the outside. Where did you play?
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. A lot of people say that me and Steve Smith have a lot of things in common in terms of our build, our style, our mentality. I was a cornerback. Okay, so I played DB. I was on the #1 defense in college football. We had 2 years in a row. I played for Bob Stoops. I was the #1 cover corner in the country by Mel Kiper. So if you go back and look at the real archives, I was all first team, all Big 8, all Big 12, first team since my sophomore year. I've always had a knack for being a competitor, and I carry that same knack with me today. Regardless of how tough things are. I believe in the old adage: keep your head down, keep working. When things are going good, keep working. When things are going bad, keep working. When things seem to be fine, outwork them and keep working.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner, right?
That's right. That was my guy. He went there. When Bob Stoops left us, he went down to Florida, and then shortly after he left Florida and did some great things there, he went over to OU with the Boomer Sooners and won a championship. And I was there with him, during that time, me and Bob are still real close. He's with the Renegades. We talk on a regular. I hang out with those guys. I go over there and meet with them. So yeah, he did some great things there for your Boomer Sooners, and so that's when I first really started to kind of follow suit with the Sooners, because we used to play them all the time. So it's kind of like the other team. But when Bob went there, they became our team.
And that's pretty cool. You get to now, share the field at Choctaw
Oh yeah, oh
Brigades.
yeah, that's really cool. It's a great environment. I think the District of Arlington has done a phenomenal job of providing our student athletes and coaches first class, opportunities to be on some of the biggest stages out there. And so it's really a cool deal to be in Choctaw and have that experience.
And it's funny just bringing up Steve Smith, and it turns out a lot of people kind of compare you to. Um, Something I like about you, Coach. and you're not the only one. There's a ton of coaches out there, but some coaches aren't this way. You're very passionate about the game, and you speak your mind, and you're vocal, and just the way you present yourself. Um, you mentioned just kind of being in a military type of guy. Is that where it comes from? The
Yes,
passion?
absolutely. I was born on a military base. My father was in the military, and I did 3 years of high school ROTC, and I did 3 years in college at Kansas State Air Force ROTC. I was this close to going to OCS school, but instead I went to camp with the back in the day the Rams, St. Louis Rams. That was my senior year. I had the option to go to OCS school and continue my path in the military, or go off to NFL camp, and I went to NFL camp. But military is much part of my DNA, strict
Also,
business. Mhm.
talking with Joe Gordon with Arlington Seguin, picked up a big week one win, season opener, 21-7 against Midlothian. You talked briefly after the game about the win. I can remember watching your kids dump the Gatorade, the water on you after. Just, I mean, you mentioned it after the game to me, but if you can kind of talk about it again, just picking up a win like that to start the season, 1-0. I mean, it had to have been, one of the best feelings.
Absolutely, and it's been a long time coming. You know, what took place on Thursday night was an accumulation of a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment in the off season to simply getting better. The thing we talk about over here at Seguin is just improving. Okay, and we can improve as a person, we can improve as a teammate, we can improve as a player. Okay, we're giving ourselves a chance to have a growth mindset for the big game, the game of life. So to be able to go out there on Thursday night and put together all the things that we've been working so hard for once the season came to a close, to get back to that moment, to have the opportunity in the great state of Texas to compete against the who's who. We were really excited about it. And, it showed on Thursday night. We were able to go out there, and that's a really good football team, well coached. We all know that. And so for us to go out there and have some success that we had, I think it spoke volumes to the work around the clock that's been done in our program, to the development of our kids in our program, and the tenacity and toughness that they also had to showcase to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, going into the game, I mean, you look at it on paper, and yeah, it's different here, different group of kids, but right, Midlothian's coming off a great season, 12 wins, going to the third round. They're in D1, you guys are in D2, but going into that game, what was kind of the main focus in order to stop their offense?
Well, I think schematically we were all confident and sound in what we needed to do. Um, you know, this wasn't something that just jumped on surprise. I think it surprised you all, but it didn't surprise us. We looked at the tape last year, and we took a very young football team to Midlothian last year, and we had them in position to win that game last year. And with a few turnovers, some untimely mistakes, the game was out of control before it was in control, so to speak, with a team like that. But we knew that if we could just get in and eliminate the foolish penalties, settle down, and we knew that once we settled down, we'd be able to really do what we set out to do, which was, if you're going to beat Midlow, number one, you have to win the time of possession. Okay, that's the first thing you have to do. You have to keep them off the sticks. All right, if you don't win the time of possession, your chance of winning the game become very slim, because they're going to ground and pound you. And I think that we were reminded that they had an 18-play drive that got their only score. And that 18-play drive is who they are, and that's who they wanted to be. And for us, we knew that we could not allow that to happen. So our whole goal was to stay out of the, continual drives and get off the field on third down. In order to do that, you have to stop that run. You have to, they're good at what they do, and they do a lot of things. But you have to be disciplined. You have to be extremely focused, and you have to do it every single play. And everybody has to know their role, do their job, and do it every snap. And so I think that it's a testimony to our coaches and our preparation and our belief in our scheme, and then ultimately our kids going out there slugging it out, okay, with a heavyweight and refusing to lose. And that's what it came down to, and that's the mindset that we're building here at Seguin. We respect everybody, but we don't see anybody. We understand that, the deck's not stacked for us. We also understand that coaches coach and writers write and players play. So we're excited each week to go out there to coach, and our players are excited weeks to go out there and play. And hopefully we can begin to turn the table and give you guys some different things to write about in a different way when you think about Seguin.
Yeah, awesome. You're a defensive guy, and as long as you've been there, you've had some really good players on defense. So I'm guessing this year's no different. And just being able to watch it in person, your defense. I used the word with you. It was nasty. Um, to not allow a score in the first half to Midlothian and only 7 overall. That tells you the whole story right there. And I mean, you got some dogs there on the defensive side. Led by Moses Mataduke. I think he had like 2.5 sacks and a fumble recovery, and that was like in a quarter and a half. And yeah, just talk about him leading that unit and just overall that defensive side moving forward this season.
Yeah, I think that's a big point you make. Anytime you're going to be a solid defense, you have to have run stoppers, and you have to have guys that can stop the run and get after the quarterback. And Moses is a guy that is now experienced in his second year starting in that position. He's also a team captain. He's worked hard all year to rewrite, some of the things that we didn't quite finish last year. And, he's taken this team in those trenches and he's put them on his back. And he says, he's going to give us his all every night. He's going to play hard. And you can see it. I mean, he has the ability with his big frame and his long arms and his athleticism, his speed. He can get in there and play a 4-eye and clog up the run, or he can come off the edge and whip the tackle and go get the quarterback. And we're going to use him in a multitude of ways, continue to do that. And that's what you saw. He was able to be disruptive. And when you can be disruptive and throw off the timing of an option game and keep the quarterback at bay because he doesn't quite able to set his feet and get in a rhythm, then you can really slow him down. And Moses, he to his credit, he prepared hard all week. We evaluate our players each week on their readiness based on not only how they practice, but on their film study evaluation. And it was clear that his film study evaluation, the numbers of hours he studied, it was clear that he was going to have a big game. He knew the opponent. He knew him inside and out. And so I think also his peers, the other kids, the other 10 guys, and, Cam Cole in the secondary, who was matched up all night long with their 5-star receiver. All these guys had a major role to play. We all knew we had to do our job. And the thing we talk about here again is just do your 111. Okay. Do your 111 and don't be the weak link. Okay. And so that's all we focus on. And I think that anytime you're going to beat a team like Midlo, it wasn't just one guy, because you have that quarterback, you've got the pitch, you've got the wing, you've got the deep ball outside. Everyone, every play has to do their job. And so I think that it starts up front with Moses, and they did a good job of not letting them get the timing down, and then did a great job on the back end. When they did pull up and throw it, we were right where we needed to be. And, as a result, no balls over the top of our head in the end zone. And I think what you're seeing this year compared to last year, we were more mature on the back end last year. I had some veteran guys, got Diesel up at Washington. I've got JJ at TCU. So there were some veteran guys in the secondary last year that kind of carried the defense and were young up front. But this year the table's turned. So now we're older up front and we're young in the back end. Okay. But being older up front, allows us to control the box, where we know really most of those games are won and lost in that box. So really excited about, that group being led by Moses. But also, once again, our secondary, we were number 1 in 5A last year. We finished the season the number 1 in pass game secondary last year. So you take that, and that's a culture here. We play good pass defense. We're going to do that. And now you mix it in with the run defense, and these guys getting stronger, have the opportunity to be a really sound defense this year.
I just want to throw out one more name. Hopefully I get it right, but when Moses got the fumble recovery, it was forced by LaCorian Hodge, correct?
Yes.
Number 3.
Got to talk about LaCorian Hodge. Sideline to sideline, pound for pound, in the box. And this is my take. I think he's the best around here, period. And I've coached a lot of guys. I was recruiting coordinator at Kansas State for many years. I've got about 21 guys in the NFL. I'm telling you right now, LaQuarrion Hodge is the best player on my football team.
Awesome.
He runs a 10-9 in the 100. He's 200 pounds. He runs sideline to sideline. He's an active linebacker. You saw it. I mean, he ran everything down. And then he'll get down to the field and be in the pass game as well. He's in the backfield. He's smart. He's instinctive. He's growing to his own. He's going to have a monster year. Keep watching him. I'm telling you. I know there's some big programs that come through my place, and they like him. They like his size, athleticism, but he's much more than that. I'm very high on him, and I can't wait to see what he continues to do as well.
Awesome. Yeah, talking about some of your past players who've gone on to play at the next level, and you have one that will do that on the offensive side, Katarius Brown, your wide receiver, 2025. Just where does he fit among, those next level players that you've coached?
Oh yeah, he's definitely right there. He brings a skill set and a natural skill set to the table that you just don't coach. His ability to assess and dissect a defense first before he touches the field, and then his ability, once the ball's in the air, to time it up and have the sure hands, even in all the contested balls, just makes him really special. He's got the length, the reach, the speed that you want out there, and then he's tough. He's much tougher than his frame looks, and so it makes it really difficult to guard him. And he's a track guy, but because he's so long, he has deceptive speed. So it's really kind of fun to watch him play. A defensive back would think he's covered until the ball's in the air, and then you see him gracefully pull away every time. And so I think it's just he lulls him to sleep some kind of way. He's just a smooth operator. But when the ball's in the air, he's gone, and you can't touch him. So he has a very, very, very high upside. He's definitely an elite Power 5 player, and I expect big things from him, this year. And we're going to use him in a lot of ways. One of the things we're going to continue to do is we know he's going to get double teamed. That's going to help me with numbers in the box. So he may not have his big game on paper, but he'll be having big games for our program because we're going to be making sure that we capitalize on all those double team matchups that he's going to draw.
And sticking with the offense, just moving forward this year, and you had some really nice plays from your offense there on Thursday against Midlothian. It starts at the top with your quarterback, Sharon Evans, who started for you last year. You have two very good running backs in Chase Ramirez and number 5, Malachi, I believe.
Yeah, Malachi.
But yeah, just moving forward, what do you expect more from those guys, those group of guys?
Well, really excited about where we are offensively. I think the thing that gives me so much excitement about that offense side of the ball is, we're older and we're mature on the offensive line. All those guys started last year, okay, with the exception of one guy. So to have that type of experience returning up front, it gives us a lot of confidence that we can do some of the things in a run game that we really like to do and feature some of those backs we have. We have a complementary backfield. Chase is a brute. If you know anything about Seguin football, from Jalen March a couple of years ago to Zay Otino last year, we're going to run the ball. We're going to be physical. Those guys will be 1,000-yard rushers. We're going to hit it downhill, and that's going to be the same way this year with Chase Ramirez back there and with Malachi behind him. I mean, they can both do it. One's more of a pounder and will run through you, run over you, and then run by you. The other one is like, trying to catch a guy before he cut the light off. I mean, he's one second you see him, the next second he's gone. So I think they're very complimentary back there. And then to have that with, 6'6" on one side, 6'3.5" on the other, with my two outside receivers with Cohen Peeler and Carterius Brown, it really makes it a lot of fun to watch that. And then you add Cameron Cole, who also plays on offense in the slot. You put that 10-4 in the slot, okay, with those two guys outside, and then you pair that up with our run game. I feel real good that we can do some things, and a veteran quarterback. So, and to piggyback on that, we went down to 7-on-7 this year and finished in the semifinals with our 7-on-7 team. So we know we can throw it and get the ball around the yard. So I'm really excited. And week one was just kind of getting us out there and cutting the cloth. I think with each week you'll see us continue to get better and begin to gel and bring all those pieces offensively together. And I'm expecting a pretty explosive offense this year.
Yeah, just Malachi had a touchdown catch from Saran. Really nice play where Saran kind of lofted it over a leaping defender, and Malachi was just with his athleticism was able to stay in bounds and dive
Yes.
pile on. So it was
That
pretty
was a big play, man. Against big time teams and against tough defenses. Like I said, my hat's off to Coach Doug Wendell, man. I love that program. I love what he's doing. He plays salty defense. So it's hard to score against those guys. I mean, it just is. I don't care who you are. And so that was a big play for us, and we call Malachi Showtime. That's his nickname. And Showtime took the ball and made a show, and we needed that. That was big for us. So, yeah, that was an awesome play in the game. And I expect more of that from him. Okay, I do. In the slot, also in coming out of the backfield. Because he's one of the fastest guys in our district. I think he finished like number 3 in the open 200. Okay, so this guy can really fly. And we've got some dudes over there that can really fly. So I'm excited once again. You can talk about that offense. I'm a defensive guy, but I just know once we get that thing in rhythm, it's going to be fun to watch.
I'm gonna jump ahead here. I know you're focused on week 2 Red Oak, but when it comes to district, let's your goal is to make the playoffs, so let's lock you in the playoff spot. Who do you expect the other 3 from your district to make the playoffs?
At this point, it's tough because we're just week 1, but I would say you'd have to count in Heritage. I'd say that you have to respect the program of Ennis. I think that after that, it's a tough push, and they're both worthy of it. But I say then you're looking at Everman or Summit, and I'll know more about who they really are, as we get a little bit closer. But I know they're both in their own rights, dominant programs and repeatedly making that playoff run. So it's going to probably be one of those 2 guys that maybe squeezing that other spot.
And I'll get you out on this, Coach. I know it's only Monday, but what do you know about Red Oak and just kind of getting ready for that team?
Yeah. So first things first, they're very talented. I think they've got stars all over the field, both sides of the ball. I think the first thing that jumps out to you is how highly decorated and athletic they are. They don't just look pretty, but they've got the offers to match it. So they're a big, talented team that, had a really solid outing week 1 against another good football team, the Colony, and they were able to get a win against those guys. So one thing I know about their program, they're going to be well coached. They're going to be out to continue to do what they do, and they've done a good job thus far. But I also like the matchup for us. I think that last I checked, because you've got me onto this now. I think last I checked, we had 78 chance. I think 78% of the voters suggest that the Cougs lose this week.
Yeah.
And so I think there's only a few people that think that we belong on the field with them. That's what that sounds like. Yeah. So to me, I would say we're excited about that matchup. We like when the odds are against us. We believe in what we do. We believe in our preparation. We believe that, once again, that coaches coach and players play. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity to go out there against another great program and mix it up.
Yeah, and I'm fine with me. I'll own it, and I'm fine. Me and
are you going to get it right this week? Are you going to get it right?
I got it right. I'm going to get it right, Coach. Yeah,
I'm going to follow up with you after the game.
Me and Matt Diggs, the professor, we'll own it. We don't mind. We don't mind you guys making us look foolish here. So awesome. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck here in week 2. Again, it's Seguin at Red Oak on Friday night, right?
Yes, sir. Friday night.
Friday night, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the season. And thanks for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is my first podcast. My first time actually being interviewed truly like this since I got the job, I think. And so I really appreciate you and the positive things you've had to share about our program and the highlights, and even give me an opportunity to share some things about our program. So thank you for that. And then secondly, you say you're Hawaiian born. Hawaii is my favorite place. I don't know if you know this, but I was the most valuable player when we played in the Hula Bowl. I was Hula Bowl MVP. So I wore that there. Then I went back there for the All-Star game my senior year because I played in the All-Star game. I was on Lou Holt's team. And then I went back to Hawaii. I got married in Kauai, Hawaii in 2000. And so Hawaii is very special to me. I go there, I hit all the islands. I'm devastated about what happened in my prayers with the families there in Maui. But I see your hat. I want you to know I got a lot of love for Hawaii. I'm there as often as I can get there. Matter of fact, we're going back in 2 years to do our 25-year wedding reunion. So I'm excited about that. But I saw your hat, so I thought I'd kind of chime in on that. Hawaii's been good to me.
Sure, that's awesome. We love Hawaii, and agree with you. Just continue thoughts and prayers with the people in Maui.
Yes, gonna do that, Coach, for certain. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks again, Coach, for joining me.
Thank you for having me again. I really appreciate it. We're looking forward to not this game, the remainder of the season, and hopefully I can follow with you moving forward. We can continue some of this dialogue and help me highlight some of our kids, our program, and some of the good things that are taking place here in Seguin.
Awesome. That's Joe Gordon, the head football coach, Arlington Seguin Cougars, and I am Brian Goss at Game Time with the Goss. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.